Back, True Seeker. Want to recap the NFL wildcard games from Saturday, January 6th, 2018. As expected, the Falcons upset the Rams. I explained why it would make a lot of sense for the sixth seed to advance to Philadelphia. Early in this year, in week 3, I picked the Eagles to have the best record in the NFC, and I said they would be 10-1. Those things both happened. And that was because of what happened September 23rd. That was the day Donald Trump took on the NFL and the players over the protests and the flag. I said, this is what you look for in the scripted world of sports. It's all about the news stories intertwining with the sports. This is how you figure out the rigging. Donald Trump took on the issue of the flag on September 23rd for a specific reason. That date's written 23/9, like 239. The flag was sewn in Philadelphia at 239 Arch Street. Also, the flag was 239 years old when Donald Trump became president. Trump has the same birthday as the flag, June 14th. 6/14 or 14/6. The replacement QB for the Eagles right now is Nick Foles. The first letter N is the 14th letter. The letter F is the 6th. His initials, 14-6, like the flag's birthday. But anyway, I pointed out if Atlanta won, they would be the 239 team in Philadelphia for the playoffs. And that's exactly what happened. Then adding insult to injury, they won with 26 points. Been pointing out all year, the word flag equals 26. Philadelphia and church both equal 101. This code's from the Bible. It's the Church of Philadelphia in the Bible. Revelation. 101 is the 26th prime number. 101, the 26th prime. Why I said Philly would be 10-1 in the year about the flag. Also, if the AFC wins the Super Bowl this year, they'll pick up the 26th Super Bowl for the AFC. Notice what LA goes down with. The predictable 13. How many times do I have to show you about rig sports and 13? Happens again and again in LA, because LA is 13. Showed you everything about this number. The World Series, Kobe Bryant's retirement, his career. It's just all the time. Plus, we're talking about the flag. 13 stripes. Used to be 13 stars. Also, the other thing I always say, the people who script these games love to punk the home audience. They love it. They love ruining the home audience's day. Think of all the people who coughed up the big money for this game in LA. Paying all this money for playoff tickets. Rams back in the playoffs. Hottest offense in the league. Then first playoff game, all they can come up with is 13 points, getting whooped by the 6th seed. If you guys don't understand that the NFL's the WWE in light of what I've been exposing since 2013, calling nearly every championship and season from the start of the year, you need to pay attention right here. I give out life lessons for free that are 1,000,000 times more important, 1,000,000 times more empowering than going and blowing your whole load at these rigged sports games that are meant to mock your goy ass. And understand that's exactly what it is. Games meant to mock your goyim ass. And if you don't know what a goyim is, you better look up that word. That comes straight from the Talmud, what the Zionist Jews go by, who are the people who control the NFL entirely. So what else? Pointed out it would make sense for the Los Angeles Rams to get 86th in the wild card. It's the year of Super Bowl 52. The only reason the Rams had a good season because they had the numbers for the season. Entire NFL scripted. Jared Goff, another no-talent quarterback just like Tom Brady. The only reason he did anything is because it was all scripted for him. All day in the pocket, wide open receivers. Jared Goff, another low talent. The name Goff equals 25. He was the first pick last year. The 97th season of the NFL, 97's the 25th prime. They moved the touchback to 25 yards. Patriots had the 25-point comeback to win the Super Bowl on 2/5 over the Falcons. Falcons equals 25. Every year is a script, from the draft to the final game and everything in between. Like this. Like why I said the Falcons would advance. That 10-6 record made sense too because that's the number of prophecy, Revelation, book of prophecy, where Philadelphia gets its name from. So Kansas City. This one surprised me a tiny bit. However, you know what? If I would have watched PTI Friday and made my pick for this game after that, I would have told you what I saw on PTI Friday. Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser, who are two of these sports commentators who pretend like sports are real even though they know they're all rigged, they both said that the Titans had zero chance to win the game. And when they were both saying that and being adamant about that, the reason ESPN does that with their announcers is to screw over bettors. When I heard them both saying that the Titans had zero chance to win on Friday, I thought, I'm going to watch to see if the Titans do win. You know, two guys just talking about how the Chiefs are definitely going to win the game. The Titans have no chance. Those are the things you look for in the sports commentating world because they're always trying to send the sheeple astray. They know people believe what they see on TV. All the people on TV are working against the people, which you need to understand. But now let me show you what this whole ritual was about. And there's a word I forgot to put up here that we're going to put up here right now. Falcons won as the 6th seed. The Chiefs got their 6th straight loss at home. Notice 6 has gematria 52. We just talked about how this was the wild card round 52. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go back and see the last time the Chiefs won at home in the playoffs. And check this out. Let's start here though. Chiefs gave up an 18-point comeback yesterday. They gave up this 18-point comeback at the start of 2018, emphasis on 18. And yesterday, January 6, 2018, 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals 18. So 18 date numerology, you give up the 18-point lead. When I saw this, I said, yep, here's the ritual. The last time the Chiefs won at home in the playoffs against the Steelers, since before the season began, I said it's going to be Patriots or Steelers in the Super Bowl. It's a lock for those two teams. Look at this. Last time they beat a team, it was the Steelers on January 8th, a date that can be written 1/8 for another 18. Again, the entire NFL scripted. I've been explaining this year after year, and the script goes back to past games. It's ongoing history. Everything connected. The entire NFL history is one script. There's never been an NFL game that wasn't scripted, not a single one. The NFL is no different than the WWE. Same is true of MLB, NBA. All sports scripted by this code, undeniably. That date can be written 8/1 as well. Pittsburgh Steelers 81, the reflection of 18, ritual 81, forwards and backwards. This was an example of falling on your number as well. January 8th, 94, 1 plus 8 plus 94 is 103. Steelers equals 103. Dan Rooney died this offseason on the 103rd day of the year, April 13th. He died 98 days before his 85th birthday. 98th season of the NFL this year. 85th Steelers season. National Football League equals 85. Just like it's the Eagles' 85th season. Notice the 43 combined points. Been a huge number this year. Titans equals 43, so does football. This was the second time Mariota came back from 14 or more points. 43 is the 14th prime. He did something Brad Johnson did in 97, who wore the number 14, a member of the Vikings. We're going to talk more about that. But that 43 combined points, not arbitrary. 43 was the year the Eagles and Steelers combined teams and became the Steagles. You know, that's been a big number we've been talking about all year. 43, the 14th prime. After week 14, the Eagles and Steelers had the best records in the league. They were both 11-2. Look at what happens when you write out 14. 112. You see? Titans 43, 14th prime number. See that? Football 43. This is a big number to Masonry. Masonic 43. Masonry created American football. They script American football. They script everything by this code. News stories, rigged elections, all of it. So, let's talk about this real quick. We were talking about how the Music City Miracle was the last time Buffalo was in the playoffs. Titans, Bills. The Titans and Bills, the two AFC away teams this week. The Music City Miracle, the final score was 22-16, a score that had only happened 13 times in the history of the NFL before it happened again in Week 17. The Bills won 22-16. 14th time ever in the entire history of the NFL, 22-16, and the Bills advanced back to the playoffs. Now the Titans win with 22 points again in a game with a miraculous play, which was absolutely scripted. Look at where Mariota is with the ball. Look at where he is. This is a forward pass he's about to throw. He's past the line of scrimmage. You can't throw a forward pass past the line of scrimmage. Music City Miracle was a forward pass that didn't get called. Now you have this forward pass that didn't get called. He has the ball in his hand right here. He's about to throw. His body's in front of the line of scrimmage. This is a penalty. This is an incomplete pass. This is not a touchdown. But it's not only that. It's that this play was totally scripted. Understand, these teams practice together all week. It's why there's no media allowed at practice, because then you'd see how they're practicing the scripted games together. Look at this. Watch this play in real time. I don't want to do it because then the NFL will put ads on this video. Watch Mariota throw the ball. I heard the announcer say this was Revis. Was it Darrell Revis? Is he on the Chiefs now? I heard them say the name Revis, unless there's another Revis in the league. But whoever this man is that he throws the ball at, watch what he does with his arms. He bats him. He bats him back. There's no reason to do that. Either try to catch the ball or just knock it straight down. Don't bat it hard back at the quarterback. This was a practice play. He threw at this man who knew to bat the ball back so that Mariota could catch it. They probably practiced this 100 times this week, you know? Watch it. It's undeniable. But this is the script. And I guarantee he was probably supposed to throw it in front of the line of scrimmage just barely, just like this. All for the mocking of the Music City Miracle. This is how scripted these games are. They're all tributes to the past. It's all mocking. It's all rigging. It's a joke. You know? It's a joke. Also important. Last year, Vikings opened up the stadium that's hosting Super Bowl 52. They opened it July 22nd to the fans, the night before Denny Green dropped dead. U.S. Bank Stadium equals 155. Denny Green dropped dead 155 days after his birthday. His birthday is February 17th. I said that day, I said, look at this. From the day he died to the Vikings opener is 52 days. He died before the stadium open that's hosting Super Bowl 52. We know Minnesota equals 52. Their first game was against the Titans. They won at 25, the reflection of 52 to 16. Stadium opened in 16. That's 41 combined points. Super Bowl equals 41. I said when this happened to remember, if the Vikings end up in the Super Bowl, Denny Green died for it. Denny Green equals 57. This is the Vikings' 57th season. When you write out 57, it sums to 131, 49. Just like Super Bowl. You see that? Championship also 131. So, doesn't mean the Vikings are going to be there necessarily, but this is the reason they're a top seed. Consider the top 4 seeds this year all finished 13-3. Minnesota 133, football 133. You see how it goes? Minnesota hosting, everything a script by the numbers, everything a mocking. And here's that point about Brad Johnson. I just want you to see that he wore number 14 for the Vikings. 43, the 14th prime, 43 points in the combined scripted comeback. Complete joke. And just as a reminder, here's the Music City Miracle score. 22 to 16 all those years ago. Notice that was on January 8th too. Another 18, you know? Another 18. And Bills advanced to playoffs for the first time since the Music City Miracle for the 14th all-time in the history of the NFL with this score. Think about how small that is. Think about how small that is. This was the 14th time all-time, 22 to 16. There's been nearly 16,000 NFL games played. Only 14 have a score of 22 to 16. Astronomically small odds, definitive proof of the scripting. You know, all of you who go to these games and give your money, I want you to understand. Here's what I want you to do. You must have another $1 to go buy a book at a used bookstore. I want you to go buy Animal Farm. I want you to buy this book by George Orwell, Animal Farm. It's a book that explains what humanity is, what society is, how dumb people are, how sheepish and pathetic they are. I want you to read that book if you went to one of these playoff games and you paid money for this, and I want you to realize you're one of the characters on the Animal Farm. Because only sheep are going to NFL football games, especially after what happened last year in Super Bowl 51. Told everybody the Patriots, they were guaranteed to win that game, and it was all about 25. They win it with a 25-point comeback. Just absolutely pathetic. Falcons had 1st and 10 at about the Patriots' 20-yard line with a little more than 2 minutes left, up 8 points. All they had to do was run the ball 3 times, kick a field goal, and celebrate the Super Bowl. Just like all Marshawn Lynch had to do was run the ball in the end zone and celebrate a Super Bowl over the Patriots. You know, it's the same thing every year. These goal line finishes, these exciting finishes, these controversial finishes. It's just all bullshit. It's all scripted. You know? And it's entirely possible to achieve what they did with this play. You know, throw the ball hard at the guy who you know you're supposed to. Have him deflect his arms back at you. The ball's going to come flying back at you. Just catch it. It's exactly what they did. And in front of the line of scrimmage. Music City Miracle Part 2. So, we'll leave it there. Till next time.